Hey guys, in this video we're going to be doing a redraw. Elena came up with a character called
The Fluffy Amphibian.
Fluffy Amphibian. So she's going to draw that. We're going to show that video, and Marie draws her own version too. And then I'm going to redraw what they did. So we're going to start out the video with Elena drawing her Fluffy Amphibian character. And I don't know how she came up with this or why, but Elena draws all the time. She loves to draw, and she's always coming up with crazy characters, so it doesn't surprise me that this is pretty unique. Right there you saw her draw the sword, which I asked her, I go, why is the sword pink? And she said it's a frog tongue sword. So that's pretty creative. I was excited about that, getting to draw that. But as you can tell, I mean, Elena's 8 years old, and she's so much better than I was at 8 years old. So with this redraw, I wanted to kind of capture the essence of Elena's character as far as, like, you know, she's friendly, she's got this kind of half smirk smile going on, and she's looking off to the right. But at the same time, the pose I'm changing. I wanted to make it more dynamic, more my style, and I feel like adding foreshortening to any character design that you're doing just makes the drawing much more dynamic, makes the character much more alive, like they're doing something. As right there, you just saw me sketch out the frog tongue sword, and I just wanted to kind of make it. I mean, I don't know how this thing works, but I thought I'm gonna make it look more like a frog tongue. So right here you see me kind of drawing this leg on the right, and I erased this thing multiple times because it just wasn't working. And it wasn't the right leg that wasn't working, it was actually the left leg. I erased that again and completely redraw those legs to give more of like she's jumping out at you, like a frog, like her legs are bent. I also wanted to make her legs very muscular looking, because the part of this, the amphibian part, I wanted her to be kind of like a frog fish type thing. And then also, so with the hair, I was looking at Elena's drawing and I'm like, it kind of looks like she was incorporating like maybe some coral or some different, like a reef or something. And so the fluffy part of this drawing is kind of like the sea anemones and stuff growing from this pink fluff that she's got all around her. So, and I thought that would be really fun to incorporate into this kind of concept. So at this point, you know, the sketch is coming along, I'm changing some stuff, but the face just doesn't have enough personality to my liking, so I decided to change the face. And one of the things that, you know, it's good to take note of is I just recently did a bunch of kind of Betty Page sketches, and she's like a pinup, but one of the things I took from those drawings is like her facial expressions and her mouth. And you know, this is one of the mouths that I had referenced from photographs of her, and I decided to incorporate it into this character just to give her more personality, you know, her raised eyebrows. And one other thing I did as well is I made the eyes a little bit smaller and closer to her nose. Something at times I tend to elongate faces too much, but where I got with this face is I do feel like it has more personality. It's not as generically stylized as what I had on there before, and I liked it a lot more. So at this point, I really like her. I like her personality, but I wanted to give her something kind of to interact with. So I added this little fish character with little hearts above his head, like maybe he's kind of like, wow, like he's falling in love with her or something like that. I just thought that was kind of a fun little touch I'd add to it. So right here, I'm starting to ink, and I'm just going to use the Pentel brush pen that I've been using a lot lately. I really like this thing. It feels great in my hand, and you can get real thin and thick lines. Gives you great line, variation in your illustrations. And it's just that, I don't know, it's that imperfect line quality that you get with this pen and brush pens like it. Versus a more mechanical pen approach. I just like the life that it brings to a drawing, and that's just my personal taste. I do like to incorporate other pens when I draw occasionally, just depends on the mood I'm in, but for this drawing I'm just doing the entire inking with this brush pen. So now that I've got everything inked, I'm going to start adding color, and before I add all my colors, I go in with a Copic marker. It's like a blue, and I add all my shadows in. And I do this before I add my color because I'll just go right over the top of this with the color, and the shadows stay. The Copics have great transparency, so layering them is really easy, and this is a really fast, effective way to add a light source to your drawing. I really love the way it looks too, and that's why I use blue, because blue is like a cool color. You want to use cools with your shadows. So I wanted to keep all the colors similar to what Elena did. She used a pink for the hair and stuff like that, and I actually like the color scheme she chose. It's really interesting, and it lent itself to that coral reef. So I used a random pink marker I had, and then I just used various kind of reef colors that I had laying around, like a teal, a little bit of a like a coral color actually, and then some yellows. Now, as far as her suit, I did it the way Elena did it, where she's kind of wearing like a fish skin suit. So I decided to do that all green. Now, I don't know if her suit are the frog feet or she has actual frog feet. But either way, that's up for you guys to decide. As you can see right there, a lot of times I'll layer colors. I'll just add other greens and stuff like that, just to give it so it's not so flat in one color. There's like different, colors going on. I just tend to like the way that looks. So right here, I'm going to actually try and use my jelly roller pen that I have to add some highlights. And I don't know if my pen's actually running out of ink, but I'm not liking it so much. And I ordered a bunch on Amazon, and I'm going to do a jelly roller pen review coming up soon, because I haven't found anything I like yet. And I just ordered a bunch of different kinds, and so we're gonna try and find a good one together. I've had a few suggestions for jelly rollers, and so that'll be something I'm looking forward to figuring out for myself. So right here, I just wanted to kind of tie the drawing together and give it like a graphic That's why I added the circle, just a finishing touch. And I've never really done that before. I've seen some artists do that with rectangles, and I like it. I like that graphic element to the drawing, to kind of just tie it all together. So I decided to do that, and I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. So right here, I decided to add a few darker areas with one of my finer tip pins. This is the Pocket brush pin by Pentel, which I also really like a lot. So that's my version of Elena's Fluffy Amphibian. What you're seeing right here is Emery wanted to draw it, but she kind of just did her own thing. I'm gonna do a separate video where Emery does a character and I redraw her character. We'll do that in the future. But I hope you guys liked this video. It was super fun to film. I will really want to do these redraws, and I want to involve you guys in them. So if you're on Instagram or whatever, you want to send me a picture that you want me to redraw, I'm going to be doing these fairly often. I'm going to have my wife do a character and redraw hers. I feel like I want to do more fun videos where you guys can actually watch me draw and we can come up with ideas together. But if you want to be a part of this, use hashtag Trav Redraw on Instagram, and I'll check out those drawings and I might pick one of yours to redraw. Anyway, that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later.